Shut up, you. Sorry, F. Yeah, mate. Nah, man. Steve from Scotland, I'm a break, mate. 5 minutes. You can die of that.
This is 4219 requesting backup. We got a perfect corner with an avenue. Got a perfect This is 4219 requesting backup.
I'm not really a mechanic. It's just one of several different jobs I do, which enable me to do what I really want to do, which is host Reloaded, Channel M's computer game show. Well, let's have a look what's on tonight's show. And as ever, there's loads. Reviews including Def Jam Icon, that looks a bit far-fetched to me. Formula 1, that looks a bit real to me. This doesn't look too real, but looks loads of fun. Virtua Fighter 5, and I'll also be looking at Virtua Tennis. Also, this year marks the 15th anniversary of the Amiga Classic Another World. You can die of that. You can die of that, and it's being re-released on the PC, so you can die of lots of things all over again. I'll also be bringing you the details of a very unusual competition. If you've got what you think might be an original retro game idea, then this will turn your legs into rockets and your arms into llamas, though the reaction differs from person to person. Right, well, plenty to be getting on with, but first up, the news. This is the gaming news! Prisoner Cell Block HD. Serving time at Her Majesty's pleasure isn't set to get any more pleasurable, as we announced this week that the PlayStation 3 will not be allowed in jails. UK Home Secretary John Reid made the decision based on fears surrounding the console's Wi-Fi functionality and its ability to share data with Sony's handheld PSP. Alright, the new thing has got a nice bit of kit, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't come with teleporter packages. No, you have to download that like everything else. More news! Sonic to be Mario'd? There's a new celebrity couple on the block in the world of gamers, Sonic the Hedgehog and Super Mario, in what's sure to be the weirdest matchup since Michael Jackson said, "Do you know who I fancy? Elvis's daughter." The former rivals are set to team up in Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, due for release on Nintendo DS and the Wii this Christmas. Now, in the late 80s and early 90s, the media added much evil hype and sensationalist spin to the competition between Nintendo and their mascot Mario and Sega with their talisman Sonic. I hate the media. Oh, wait a minute. We're the media. Right, cut that, lads. We'll do that again. Ready? Pick it up just from here. 3, 2, 1, go. In the late 80s and 90s, the media cleverly reported on over-competitive games industries, and it's excellent reporting like that which keeps us all well-informed and able to form erudite opinions completely of our own. The industry legend Shigeru Miyamoto is set to work on the title, which is set in the Olympic Games. 100 metres with a lightning-fast blur of a hedgehog or a fat Italian plumber. 100-metre dash, 100-metre tash. You decide. More news! And finally, the biggest ball of string, fatally wounded TV favourite Mr. T in Mountain City, Nevada. His absence will be sorely missed. That was the gaming news! I didn't know. I thought it was one of them little funny questions at the end of the last stories about puppies and things. I didn't know. Windscreen wipers, mate. Oh, they're expensive. About 300 quid. I can sort you out for a pair. Hold on, mate. Hold on. Here's your previews. Of course, at a second hand. This is Grand Theft Auto 4 and it's already causing a stir. Due out in October with simultaneous PS3 and Xbox 360 releases. Downloadable content has been announced which should keep the community as happy as ever. Someone who isn't happy, however, is the Mayor of New York. A spokesperson for the Mayor's office says the Mayor does not support any video game where you earn points for injuring or killing police officers. I guess that's Rockstar off his Christmas list then. But look at it, it's beautiful. I want to climb in and be bad.
Life is complicated. I killed people, smuggled people, sold people. Perhaps here, things will be different.
Take on me, let me go. This actually isn't that Aha video, but it does look a bit like it. This is Hotel Dusk Room 215, a brand new graphic adventure for the DS. This compelling and multi-layered mystery thrusts players into the midst of a gripping adventure, a bit like that Aha video actually. An adventure which must be unravelled piece by piece to reveal the hidden secrets, definitely like the Aha video. You take on control of retired New York cop Kyle Hyde, who flees the Big Apple following his involvement in the disappearance of his close friend Bradley. Thanks to the DS's dual screens, players can view a 3D environment they are exploring on their left and a map they can navigate around using a stylus on the right. This unique feature promises to provide players with a real sense of freedom in the game as they explore every inch of every room and leave no stone unturned. Heading for your handheld shortly after Easter, be sure to stay tuned to Reloaded for a full review as soon as we get our hands on it. Last week I heard about an interesting retro competition, thought I'd check it out, thought you might like to see it as well. Have a look for yourself. Fixed it, 500 quid.
Basically, I'm running something called the JT Voyager Crusade, which is a quest to find the next generation of young computer game programmer. The idea behind the competition is that we will find a programmer out of all the entries, and it's a worldwide entrance, and they have the opportunity to win the Voyager arcade game from it. And if they do win, they get their game on the playlist, and they get royalties and all of that sort of thing that goes with that. Anybody who feels that they are a programmer and that they feel that they can give something to the world of retro gaming, that's what I'm looking for. I want something that gets back to Pac-Man, up, down, left, right, fire 1, fire 2, player 1, player 2, dead simple games, but I want something that's in the style of retro, so simple and playable. Think 80s. I know it's hard if you're a young programmer and so, but I'm sure if you're into programming, you will know the iconic games of the 80s like Space Invaders and so on. I'm not saying copy them, but I think you get the general idea that I want something similar to, yeah? And that's what I want.
I'm going to enter the competition because I like retro games, and I'd like to make a retro game which kind of appeals to me as I was like kind of age 10, kind of get addicted to it, play it a lot, kind of get the high score kind of thing.
Well, have you got any kind of particular ideas, any kind of things you fancy? What kind of retro games will you be looking at?
Well, the one I got addicted to as a young'un was like Bomb Jack. It's like, if I can make a program which kind of comes close to that, I will be really happy. Have
you got like a specific idea then sorted at the moment? Or?
I was thinking like a platform game, kind of 2D. The stage kind of stays as one, but the character moves around, kind of level based.
I think it's a really good idea in terms of it can be quite difficult to get into any industry. A competition like this, it just gives whoever wins, or indeed whoever enters, a helping hand. Certainly the winner obviously will get the support of Johnson's company in terms of publicity. But I think for amateur programmers maybe, who are just sort of looking to test themselves a bit, it could be just like a fun little thing to do.
And are you going to be able to change with the glamour of computer gaming after a while? You've had a little sample of it tonight.
I could give her a go, I'll see how it goes.
Get used to it?
Yeah, I could get used to it.
Can't stop now, don't you know? I never gonna let you go,
Right, going to give you your first review of the evening. This is Virtua Fighter 5. That is as long as you're not tired. A little bit of me just died then. Oh, it's pretty, isn't it? And it's good too. Virtua Fighter has always been the daddy of beat-em-ups, and I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. It's pure fighting ideal based on strategy and skill rather than crazy special moves. It's always made for a satisfying fighting experience for the connoisseurs. What's French for connoisseurs? The graphics are top, and the character textures and animations are spectacular, as are the backdrops, which are also more interactive than ever before. Fight in snow and your footprints build up and remain throughout. I might have got a little bit overexcited about that when I first saw it. But the moves are as smooth and as cool as ever, and the pace of it's tremendous. All the old characters remain, along with 2 new ones, which in this case I'd say less is more. It seems Sega have been right to try and keep the fighting styles balanced, and too many new characters could upset that. The game can still be difficult to get into if you're a newcomer though. Just try playing it to someone who's been playing for years like I did. You'll probably end up tearing out your eyeballs with frustration, but stick with it and it's worth it. Luckily, the excellent practice mode in the dojo still remains to help hone your skills when no one's looking. The quest mode has enough in it for a good few hours of single player play, but the lack of an online option is a bit of a disappointment. Virtua Fighter fans are a bit of a competitive bunch, and I'm sure the online community would have cemented this even further. Perhaps it'll happen in the next incarnation. But Virtua Fighter is back, and it's as good as it's always been, except it's really, really, really pretty. So go on, get on it, and remember, there's nothing more satisfying than getting beaten down almost with no energy left and then winning via a ring out. Brains over brawn. Yeah.
So he's underneath having a look at it, and I'm like, I know what's wrong with your car, mate. You've got a fat bloke under it. That's the end of the banter, and this is the end of part one, but make sure you're right back. Still got plenty more for you here and Reloaded. He was massive. I'm not even a cockney. It's the new Nintendo Wii, it's chasing me. People are thinking they're going to get fatter by playing it. But the strap keeps slipping off and smashing tellies. Some of them are widescreen. A couple are HD, I don't know about it. It's horrible. Wake up, Jerry. Wake up, Jerry. Wake up, Jerry. Oh, by Poseidon's trident. It was just a dream. Oh.
Freeze! Have you been having a gaming nightmare? Faults with consoles, games with unforgivable flaws? Let us know and we'll tell Jerry and he'll have a nightmare about it. What a prize indeed. Contact us on www.channelm.co.uk/entertainment. Follow the clicks for Reloaded. That's enough, Jerry.
Right, it's time for our next review of the evening. This is Def Jam Icon, EA's latest beat 'em up. Have a look for yourself. It's a good thing, that. Come on, Def Jam.
The basic premise for Def Jam Icon is close to genius. The idea of fully integrating a beat 'em up to coincide with the timing of the music is truly innovative. In the background, lights on buildings, fire and water from fire hydrants all rise and cascade to the beats of the music like a graphics equalizer, whilst you grapple with your enemy. This integration with the music gives the game a surreal and almost dance-like quality. Who'd have thought it'd be so much fun to see a rap star blown across the screen in flames in time with the music? To be fair, if you remember Vanilla Ice, you've probably had that image in your head for quite a while. The music is also key to winning battles. Each star has the ability to scratch the music in order to manipulate the environment and activate the environmental hazards that inflict the most amount of damage. Throw your opponent into position and scratch the track to smash them into a big pile of ludicrous meat. Despite the innovation though, that's about it. The graphics look fantastic, and if you're into the music then you'll enjoy that too, but I can't help but get really frustrated with the fighting element. It feels slow, clunky and repetitive. The fighting styles are pretty similar, even though you can unlock more as you progress through the game, but they turn out to be pointless because you still want to throw people into the beat-activated explosions. Def Jam Icon is lovely to look at and has some great ideas, but I just think if they'd integrated the fighting element from the previous incarnation with these new ideas, it'd have been a much better game. Ultimately, the speed is limited by the tempo of the music. Now, I've got an idea. Hardcore Rave Icon, 40 punches a second, special glow stick attack. Nah, that's not good, it'd be over in 12 seconds. Jazz Icon, use special overindulgent boring attacks. No, that's no good. Oh, Opera Icon, blow open your opponent's head with your top E vocal. Violins have never been so violent. I'm gonna stop now. If this was Def Jam Icon, this would probably jump up and hit me in the face. But it's real life. Talking about Another World, though, here's a title by the same name, 15 years old, but updated for the PC. Have a look for yourself. "15 years ago, French developer Delphine Software released Another World on the Amiga. The graphical style and cinematic cutscenes ensured it was met with great critical success. Unfortunately, that regard didn't come hand in hand with commercial success."
C'est vrai que dans Another World, mis à part le côté un peu action, il n'y a plus rien en commun avec ce que j'aimais au début du jeu vidéo, les jeux d'arcade. C'est-à-dire c'est une vraie cassure d'ailleurs, puisque tous les jeux de l'époque, la plupart des jeux de l'époque affichaient des scores. Ça relevait de la performance numérique, puisqu'il fallait faire du chiffre. Et là, j'ai cassé tout ça. C'est-à-dire, je me suis dit, non, mais ce qui m'intéresse, c'est pas d'avoir un score. Moi, je veux travailler sur ce qu'on ressent.
Fast forward to 2007 and Electro Games have re-released Another World on the PC with updated graphics and the making of documentary. I wanted to find out how well the title measures up to today's standards. It seems the first thing you come to terms with in Another World is death. Each scene painstakingly needs to be learned off by heart, and in the process of doing so, you're acquainted with the multitude of ways you can make yourself dead. All hugely frustrating in their own beautiful way. Looking more closely at the scenes themselves, action happening in the foreground and the background is a feature rarely seen even in today's gaming, let alone a decade and a half ago. Another World also used several techniques previously more associated with films, such as rotoscoping.
Ça, c'est le modèle réduit de la voiture que j'ai filmé pour l'introduction. Donc ça, c'est la canette qui a servi au décapsulage. Et ça, c'est l'objet le plus marrant, puisque c'est le pistolet du jeu, le pistolet laser. Plutôt que de chercher un modèle réduit, je me suis dit, de toute façon, ce qui compte, c'est la forme.
L'histoire est supportée par les graphismes, par les décors, par le choix de couleurs restreintes, peu de couleurs flashy. Il y a une ambiance, et c'est cette ambiance globale qui raconte l'histoire, en fait. Plus qu'une histoire, moi j'ai trouvé que c'était un sentiment. On a un peu le sentiment d'un monde qui touche à sa fin, qui va s'écrouler, il va se passer quelque chose. Ou il s'est passé quelque chose, ou il y a eu une catastrophe. Parce qu'on ne sait pas dans quel monde il arrive non plus, ce personnage. C'est un monde parallèle, il est dans le futur, il est dans le passé. On ne sait pas très bien où c'est, il donne aucune indication là-dessus. Le joueur ou le spectateur peut s'imaginer absolument ce qu'il veut.
By allowing the player this space for imagination is probably why Another World lives up to today's standards. A bit like when you're reading a book and you make the voices up in your head yourself. Like when I was reading Harry Potter, I thought he sounded like this. "Hello, I'm Harry Potter. Want to see some magic? Bunch of flowers." The re-release is out now, and to be fair, Another World is worth another look. Right, well here's what I've been playing mostly this week on my console. This is Virtua Tennis 3. Have a look for yourself. I lost then. Virtua Tennis. If ever there was a must-have game in your collection for when your mates come around for a few beers, then this is it. It's exactly the same as 1 and 2, but who cares? It's always been a blast. The graphics and animations are as true to life as they ever have been, certainly from the top-down view anyway. The close-up animations are still good, but for some reason Martina Hingis looks like she's got a touch of the old leprosy. Martina Mingus. The gameplay is as good as ever. Even with the relatively simple 3-button configuration, it can still be a subtle experience with a combination of smashes, volleys, drop shots and headbutts. Well, not headbutts, but maybe that's an idea for the next one. The roots of Virtua Tennis are firmly planted in the arcade arena, which means newcomers can pick up the game and hold their own even after barely 5 minutes of play, with 2 and 4 player multiplayer battles becoming increasingly long and spectacular as you fight to outwit your opponent without headbutts. That said, the multiplayer is also an issue, or it is for the PS3 anyway, as there's no online feature, whereas 360 owners will be able to experience the best Live has to offer with its fully online capable version. This omission was put down to the fact that it took Sony ages to sort out the online side of things, which as such makes the 360 version more attractive for multiplayer shenanigans. But never mind, there's still a lot single player has to offer with the tour mode and nice minigames. Actually, I found a really good use for the minigames. First, find a mate who doesn't know much about tennis, then tell him this is what happens when there's a draw. Kind of a generation game tennis special. There are some nice touches such as the umpire's language matching the actual location you're playing in. Look, he's talking French there. What's French for juice? I think it's juice, isn't it? But anyway, there's also a distinct lack of players, which is a bit of a disappointment, especially when you want to play as Andy Murray so you can thrash Tim Inman, who's been rubbish for ages building up our hopes. He's let us down, but most of all, he's let himself down. Anyway, they're only minor gripes with a game that will get regular visits from us throughout the year.
Love 40.
Right, it's time for our last review of the show. This is Formula 1 Championship on the PS3. I tell you what though, those pit stop guys, they think they're so good, don't they? They think they're quick. What do they do in 12 seconds? Watch this. How good was that? Historically, this game is aimed at a niche market, but with the PS3 in its infancy and relatively few titles available at launch, it seems that Sony have tried to make this one more accessible to more people rather than just Formula 1 fanatics. And for this, I think Sony should be applauded, as this is one of the titles at launch that ooze quality. The visuals are so good that sometimes it almost feels like it's a Sunday afternoon and you can smell the Yorkshire's cooking, though I did first play this game on a Sunday whilst cooking Yorkshire puddings. But it's important to remember this is only in standard definition, so you can expect it to look even more realistic in high def. Also, the audio is exactly what you would expect to hear, and the camera angles are also superb, just like it is in real life, and that is the essence of this game: simulation. Every aspect of F1 is here, from testing the car on the track in different conditions to practice and qualify before entering the race. Now, it can be a little bit long-winded, but I suppose it's all about accurately portraying the life of an F1 driver. I wish I had the life of an F1 driver. Schumacher with all that cash, Jensen Button with all the birds, and David Coulthard with his chin. Or even better, you can switch off the driving aids and the experience is as true to life as possible whilst holding a joypad. But if you're not an F1 nut and you want to go for a quick race, then keep the driving aids firmly in the on position and go for a blast around Silverstone for a laugh. Enjoy the breakneck pace and awesome detail as you leave Schumacher in your dust trail. What a loser, Ralph. F1 Championship Edition is a decent launch title. It won't go down in the history books, but if you like your racing at its most painstakingly realistic, then this is for you. And if you don't, then go play MotorStorm like the rest of us. Well, it looks like it's about time for me to start wrapping things up here, but make sure you join us same time next week for more Reloaded, because at the end of the day, there's other jobs, but there's only one Reloaded. See you in a bit. Goes down. Alright. Careful, man. Careful there. Watch the console. Watch it. Don't want to be a mechanic anyway. Not even the right size, this. Ridiculous. Everything was filthy. Ridiculous. Childish anyways. That's childish. Ridiculous. Won't be one anyway. Is that a pound? Got a pound? Got a pound.